Suns versus Soda, 3 versus 6 seed. The Suns actually swept the Minnesota Timberwolves in the regular season. Carl Conyers, who do you have in this series and why?
I have Minnesota.
Wow.
Because I don't really trust the Suns. I don't really care about the season series thing because
regular season don't mean shit. But
I mean, of course, I know this is LeBron, but I remember I want to say it was like the Raptors or somebody like that had swept them in the regular season, and then they swept them in the playoffs. You know, like it just is what it is. So, but I think that Minnesota spent most of the year as the number 1 seed, I think, for a reason, and they're gonna be pretty much fully healthy. And they're gonna have like Jaden McDaniels is like an all defense caliber guy. Like Ant is he's a good defender.
Rapping.
And they have a lot of bodies to throw at KD.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been the past couple of years the way to kind of like knock him off, is like, be really physical with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I just think we saw last year they have the ability for sure. They can both go out and score 30 to 40 a game, but unless they're doing that, I don't think they're going to win.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to bet on that. It's definitely a possibility, but I just think that the defense that the Timberwolves have, along with like their depth when you have Naz Reid and like all these other guys, is going to overcome them. And I think it's just going to continue to be a disappointing season for the Suns.
Yeah. It's good to see that they're finally healthy as well, too. We shouldn't really take the regular season into account, but it always seemed like it came down to Ant versus everybody in some of those games. So the one thing I'm nervous about is just like, of course, I like the Suns. I'm taking the Suns in this series in 7 because they have home court, like you said, because they're one of the best defensive teams in the NBA and because of their depth.
Well, you're taking the Suns?
Not Timberwolves. But I'm just nervous on like this is like their year to make some noise. Suns got 3 superstars, like
3 superstars?
3 stars. 3
Okay.
stars. They got 3 stars, 2 superstars. And I'm just curious to see like if it's close games, like, and we're just going trade for trade with buckets, I feel a lot more comfortable with the 3 stars I mentioned with Beal, Booker, and KD, as opposed to sometimes it can seem like Anthony Edwards' shot selections can be kind of sporadic at times. But I guess the easy answer is by committee, but who's that like second option? I think on paper it should be Cat, but like who's that second person that you're kind of looking at as well too when Anthony Edwards might necessarily not have it in the crunch time? Like who you kind of looking at?
I feel like Cat,
should be Cat
and Naz Reid.
Cat,
I think they do kind of have proven, not to the level of the scorers on the Suns.
Yeah.
But they have guys that like are going to get you some buckets.
Mm.
And as much as I dislike Cat, I think he can at least get you like close to 20 or something like that.
Yeah.
And just the way that he's going to space the floor is going to have a big effect too. So
yeah. I feel like I wonder how many minutes they're gonna have with Cat and with Rudy Gobert together as well too. Because if I'm Minnesota, I kind of like using Cat as a floor spacer, but Nurk and then what's that other white dude's name that comes off the bench? Their big man.
Oh,
y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
And then you got Bobo. Like Cat doesn't necessarily play too much inside, but I feel like you can definitely utilize his advantage inside this series as well too. And the fact that, like we said, Rudy Gobert could get played off the floor, it's perfect to have Naz Reid there. Or if they want to go small, have Jaden McDaniels at the forward. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying not to look too much into that regular season stuff, but I think it's at least gonna go 7 games, and I think Anthony Edwards and those boys announced that they're here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been, I don't want to say championing. Damn, how you say the word?
Damn.
Exactly.
Championing.
There we go.
Championing. Yeah.
I feel like I've been doing that all season with
You have.
and Minnesota, but now I'm scared. If it get to 7 games, like I'm going KD and Book, bro. Like as much as they can be hot and cold. I mean, they could get some random ass fucking Mike Miller game 5
From
game.
Grayson Allen.
Exactly.
Scoop
You
and just
know
get
what I
that
mean?
contract.
Like they can see that, like that can happen. But ultimately, I like Minnesota's team top to bottom more than the Suns. Obviously, the Suns are top heavy, but I think Ant shows a great outing, in this first round series.
He's healthy this time because last year was his shoulder, right?
Yeah.
And then last year, no Jaden McDaniels. And then who else was hurt? Someone else was hurt. Oh, Nasri. Nasri didn't play.
Yeah. And then I feel like they'll get, like you were asking about where they'll get timely offense from. I think sometimes Mike Conley going to pop out too and kind of like give them timely shots too, timely floaters. And I think that can be where it can be like just the damn, what's the word I'm thinking of? The difference in the series is just Anthony Edwards' star power and Cat spacing the floor, like y'all said, dominating when Yusuf isn't on the floor, and making sure that they capitalize in their home games and don't drop those because they'll need all of them, I think, to win the series.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder because the whole season long, like, obviously, I feel like the Suns would definitely have had a better record if they were durable like these other top teams. But the biggest knock on them, and a lot of people talk about, is their point guard play. So I wonder if that's definitely gonna, be showcased in the playoffs this year as well too with them. But I think Beal has stepped in since he's been relatively healthy and has taken on that ownership of being somewhat of a good playmaker and getting his teams in the right sets and whatnot. So we'll see.
It's always interesting for that third option on the team when the shot attempts go down in the playoffs with tougher defense and less possessions.
Yeah.
And how efficient he can be in that role. So we'll see about that too.
So you got...
Oh, I have Minnesota in 7.
Minnesota in 7. And then, Carl, what was yours again?
I'll say Minnesota in 6.
Minnesota in 6. Damn, okay. KD only won in 2. That's
I mean, how many did win against the Celtics the other year?
KD?
Yeah.
They got swept, right?
Yeah. Exactly. I'm just saying, y'all say it like it's impossible. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be interesting.